It's been a painful stretch for Ferrari fans, and unfortunately the latest race weekend in Japan only added to the frustration. What makes it worse is that both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc have now openly admitted something no one in Maranello wanted to hear. The SF25 might already be showing its limits. After months of pre-season optimism and high hopes, both drivers came forward with a brutal assessment of where Ferrari currently stands. And the truth is, it's not just bad news. It's the kind of truth that stings more than a mechanical DNF on the final lap of a Grand Prix. After another race where Ferrari looked like a shadow of the team they promised to be, both Hamilton and Leclerc made comments that left fans and analysts stunned. Not because they were angry, not because they were harsh, but because they were honest, painfully honest. And honesty in this case meant acknowledging that the car simply isn't good enough. There's no mysterious setup issue, no wrong strategy call, no weather trick playing against them. As Leclerc put it bluntly, I think this is the pace, honestly. That single sentence cuts through all the noise and leaves only one conclusion. Ferrari have built a car that, at least for now, is not competitive. And if Charles Leclerc, who's known for his ability to push a car to its absolute edge, says, "The pace we saw in Japan is the maximum the SF25 can deliver," then Ferrari might be in deeper trouble than anyone realized. He didn't say the car had issues in low-speed corners. He didn't say it needed a different setup. He didn't point fingers. Instead, he called the race ahead in Bahrain lonely. And that word, more than any other, sums up Ferrari's 2025 season so far: lonely. They're not fighting at the front. They're not comfortably ahead of the midfield. They're stuck in no man's land. Then came Lewis Hamilton. Known for being diplomatic but also deeply insightful, Hamilton didn't sugarcoat anything. After the Japanese Grand Prix, he said, "Yeah, I think it looks like we are third, or Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, and then us, sort of thing." It's a calm way of saying Ferrari is out of the top group, that Ferrari is watching the championship contenders from a distance. And the fact that Hamilton, a 7-time world champion, is already sounding resigned after just 3 races tells you everything you need to know about how far off the mark this car really is. Hamilton has nothing to prove. He didn't come to Ferrari to fight for 4th place. He came for legacy, for history, for the chance to do something no one had done in over a decade, bring Ferrari back to the top. But right now, instead of chasing championships, it looks like he might be spending the rest of the season just trying to stay relevant in the points, and that wasn't the plan. Let's talk about the SF25, the car that was supposed to be Ferrari's comeback machine. After a promising winter and strong hints during testing, there was genuine belief that this could be the year Ferrari turned things around. The SF25 was supposed to be a refined, more consistent version of last year's car. It was supposed to challenge Red Bull and McLaren, not trail behind them. But what we've seen so far is disappointing, not because the car is completely uncompetitive, but because it seems to lack any standout strength. It's not dominant in the corners. It's not fast on the straights. It doesn't have exceptional tire management. It's not consistently reliable. In fact, the SF25 is just okay. And in Formula One, being okay gets you nowhere. You're either in the fight or you're left behind. And Ferrari, 3 races into the 2025 season, are clearly being left behind. Leclerc said in Japan that what we saw on Sunday was the absolute best we could do. Think about that. That's not a throwaway comment. That's a clear message that the team has already maxed out the current package. No secret upgrade, no hidden setup trick, no miracle solution waiting in the wings. What we saw is what we have. And that's a deeply concerning realization this early in the season. And let's not forget that this isn't about one bad weekend. This is a pattern. This is a car that has failed to deliver on 3 very different circuits. And if Ferrari can't find solutions quickly, the points gap to McLaren and Red Bull is only going to grow wider. Right now, Ferrari is already 76 points behind McLaren. That's not a gap. That's a canyon. The frustration for fans, and clearly for the drivers, is that there's no single issue. If it were just low-speed corner performance or rear, tire wear or drag levels, the team could at least focus their efforts on a fix. But the SF25 is underwhelming in too many areas. It lacks front-end grip in technical sections. It doesn't have the power to fight on the straights. It struggles with rear stability through fast corners. It's average at everything and exceptional at nothing. That's why the tone of both Hamilton and Leclerc is so resigned. It's not that they've given up, it's that they've realized there's no easy fix. Leclerc talked about needing new parts, but even then the hope seemed faint. Hamilton, meanwhile, is stuck trying to balance the excitement of a new chapter with the reality of a team that hasn't delivered. And if there's one driver in the paddock who understands the rhythm of a title fight, it's Lewis Hamilton. He knows when a season is slipping away. He knows when a car is good enough and when it's not. And everything he's said so far suggests that this season, the story might not be about redemption. It might be about damage control. Even the small victories feel hollow. In China, Hamilton won the sprint race, a moment that should have boosted morale. But by Sunday, all the excitement was gone, after a disqualification removed both Ferraris from the final results. And it wasn't even due to pace. It was a mechanical mistake. That's even more painful. Because when you finally get a result only for it to be erased due to an error in the garage, it hurts twice as much. What's clear now is that Ferrari's issues aren't just performance-related. There's an identity crisis brewing. Is this car built to win races or just built to survive the season? Leclerc's use of the word lonely keeps coming back. That's what it feels like. Lonely races, running in clean air with no one to fight, nothing to chase, and everything to lose. It's not just frustrating, it's demoralizing. Zooming out, the problem is bigger than just a car or a weekend. It's about momentum, it's about belief, it's about the direction of the team. Last season, Ferrari started slow but built momentum through the year. But even then, it was small progress, not big leaps. And that kind of slow gain won't be enough in 2025. McLaren is flying. Red Bull still has Verstappen. Mercedes is hungry again. Ferrari doesn't have time for gradual improvement. They need a breakthrough, and fast. And what happens if that breakthrough doesn't come? What happens if Bahrain, a track that doesn't suit Ferrari's car characteristics, ends the same way as Japan? Then Ferrari will be officially out of the title hunt before the season is even halfway over. And once that's off the table, the only thing left is pride, reputation, history. Let's return to Hamilton. Because this move to Ferrari wasn't just about racing. It was symbolic. It was supposed to be a historic final chapter in one of the greatest careers in Formula One history. Hamilton didn't switch teams to finish fourth. He came to Ferrari to become the man who restored the most iconic team in the sport. That was the dream. That was the story. But dreams are fragile. And so far, this story isn't unfolding the way anyone imagined. Instead of leading Ferrari back to glory, Hamilton is stuck trying to extract tenths from a car that doesn't want to give them. He's driving well, he's performing, but the tools aren't there. And that shifts the narrative. From can Lewis win with Ferrari to did he make the right move? That's a dangerous place to be, especially for a driver whose legacy is already written in gold. Hamilton didn't need to take this risk. He chose it. He believed in Ferrari's project. But if that project doesn't deliver, then it's not just a failed season, it's a lost opportunity to end his career on his own terms. To be fair, it's still early. A few upgrades, a breakthrough, a lucky race. Things can change quickly in Formula One. But we've heard that before. And Ferrari is already running out of weekends to get it right. Hope is a dangerous thing when it's based on what-ifs. And that brings us to the ultimate question. Is Ferrari still a top team? On paper, yes. By legacy, absolutely. But in performance, in operations, in strategy, that's where the doubts are creeping in. Ferrari's name carries weight, but weight isn't always an advantage.